Welcome to a Chieftain interview of Mahopac High School's Valedictorian, Thomas O'Brien, and Mahopac High School's Soluditorian, Matthew Longo. These students are both highly accomplished, both in the classroom and on the field. Starting with the Valedictorian, Tommy O'Brien is known for being the captain of the varsity cross-country team, captain of the JV lacrosse team, and a two-year member of the varsity lacrosse team. He is also a member of the varsity basketball team. He has taken extremely challenging classes throughout his high school career, including the senior year, which he just recently took AP BC Calculus and AP Literature. He is also extremely involved in the high school community. He's the treasurer of the Science National Honor Society. He's the secretary of the most student government. And finally, he is public relations official of the Spanish Club. Now moving on to the Soluditorian, Matthew Longo. Longo is also an extremely accomplished athlete. He is a varsity member of the cross-country team. He's also varsity winter track and field. Very, very well known for his jumping ability, I can attest. He was the member of the varsity bowling team for 1 year as the anchor. He's also extremely academically skilled as well, taking numerous AP classes and honors classes throughout his years in Mahopac High School. Finally, he too is a active member in our high school community. He is the president of the Italian Club. He is vice president of MOST. He is also a student athletic council member, and he is a member of the math team in his junior and senior year. So today we'll be asking Tommy O'Brien and Matthew Longo some questions from teachers and friends from the high school community, and also a few questions that Chieftain has prepared. So we're going to start off with a question from Mrs. Posh, and also the same exact question was asked by Matt McMahon. And this question is, how do you balance the demands of your academics and athletic participation? And what advice do you have for students trying to find that balance? So I think we'll start with Tommy for that one.
I would say, it's never been easy to completely balance the demands of academics and athletic participation. Like to get everything done, some nights you have to stay up late studying, doing your homework. Some nights you even have to sacrifice some sleep. And advice to the students that are trying to find that balance, I would always say to take advantage and be useful of your time. Make sure you stay organized all the time and stay on top of your work. And it's not always easy, but if you get committed to it and put your mind to it, you can get everything done.
All right, very good advice, OB. And what about you, Longo?
I would just say that I manage my time well. So like after practices or games, I would just make sure I get all my homework done, my studying done. So then after that, I could just spend my time doing whatever I wanted. And some advice I have is just sometimes you have to sacrifice sleep, like Tommy said, but it's all worth it because you can always just catch up on sleep on the weekend.
Moving on to a question from cross-country coach Adam Fetzer. This one also has to do with academics and athletics. So what lessons did you bring from athletics to the classroom and from the classroom to the athletic field? How have they influenced each other?
Lessons from athletics and lessons from the classroom have influenced each other greatly. I'd say some lessons from the classroom that I brought to the athletics are to always do every task to the best of your ability and always give your best effort. And some lessons from athletics that I brought to the classroom are perseverance, dedication, and keep pushing when times get tough. And these lessons go hand in hand and have helped develop me to the person I am today.
Thank you for that. And Luongo, what about you?
A lesson I learned from athletics is the importance of teamwork and learning from others. And I've used this all throughout the classroom. I've worked on homework with my friends, and if I ever had questions, I never hesitated to reach out to anyone. And a lesson I learned in the classroom is that you can't grow as a student unless you challenge yourself. And I've really used this in the athletic field because you can only become a better athlete if you push yourself to get better every day. And I've used that greatly. So many of the lessons I learned in and out of the classroom and on and off the field, I've used interchangeably because some lessons that you learn, such as learning from failure, the importance of integrity, commitment, and hard work, those can go hand in hand. And they helped me grow as a better person.
Very good words of advice from our Soluditorian. And then we have one question from a fellow cross-country teammate, Frankie Camerata. And he wants to know, what is your favorite quote? And also, I would like to know why it's your favorite quote.
I would say my favorite quote is that hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. I'd say it shows you don't have to always be the best at everything you do in your life, but with effort and dedication, you can achieve what you set your mind to.
Do you know who said that quote, or is that like an anonymous one?
It might be an anonymous one, but I just like the lesson it shows.
Yeah, that's a very good quote to live by. What about you, Longo?
My favorite quote now is, I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them.
Yeah.
And that was by Andy Bernard in The Office. And I really like that quote because it just shows that like you just like can't let time pass you by, and you should always just enjoy the moment.
Yeah, and that segues perfectly into my next question, which is, what are your favorite memories from high school, which I'm sure one day will be the good old days?
Well, my personal favorite memory, when I got that phone call from Dr. Lawrence that he told me that I was the valedictorian of the high school class of 2020, because it felt great that all of my hard work paid off. But on top of that, I had lots of great high school memories at all the football games, and even better memories during all cross-country, lacrosse, and basketball seasons.
Oh, yeah, those pasta dinner nights.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Longo? Favorite memory?
My favorite memory's got to be when I went to Greece. Like, that's got to be like the best experience of my life, probably. So.
Yeah. Was that with the school Greece trip?
Yeah.
Cool. And the next question, this one I made personally. Do you have any advice to underclassmen? Because I'm sure there are a ton of kids who are wondering, how do I get to be valedictorian? How do I get to be Soluditorian? Or even from the athletic point of view, how do I get to be such a well-rounded, skilled athlete?
Well, personally, I would just try to do the best you can, and whatever comes along the way is just gravy and on extras. But I would always say one huge advice is always give your best in school, since it plays a huge role in your future. So always give the best in every homework assignment. Make sure you study for that test. Make sure you do everything to the best of your ability. And secondly, I would enjoy every second of high school while you can. It flies by in a minute.
Yeah, I feel that too. What about you, Longo?
Some advice I have is that school comes first. You obviously have to get your work done, and like Tommy said, it does play a big role in your future. But don't let your grades get in the way of enjoying high school, because it'll be over before you know it, and you want to be able to look back on all the memories you made throughout high school.
Yeah. And throughout your years in high school, you've had many accomplishments, and I'm just wondering if you have one that really stood out to you that you could say, that's my greatest accomplishment that I've had.
Well, obviously, I would say my greatest accomplishment would have been being named valedictorian, but performing so well in the classroom while being so involved in clubs, sports, and other extracurricular activities, and building lasting friendships and relationships while having lots of fun and having a social life. It's just been the greatest accomplishment altogether.
Yeah, I guess it's the whole experience really is just an accomplishment in itself. All right, and do you have one accomplishment, or is it more like OB where it's like?
Yeah, mine's just like that. My greatest accomplishment has got to be being able to be Soluditorian while playing 3 sports and having a good social life and just enjoying high school in general.
Yeah. All right, cool. Oh my God, Longo, that just reminded me, I forgot to mention that you were also varsity baseball when I was listing off your athletics. Yeah, that's what you're most well known for. So, yeah. And the last thing is, when you were looking through colleges, and you guys are going to 2 very well accredited colleges, the University of Southern California for Luongo and Notre Dame University, as shown by OB's shirt. When you were going through the college process, do you have any advice for juniors on how to best navigate that?
Well, I would try to figure out what your passion is, and then from there try to find a school that fits you well, makes you feel comfortable and at home, and you love your surroundings and feel like you could spend the next 4 years here while having a good time and learning a lot of academics.
Okay.
So whatever just feels right at your heart.
Cool. And Luanga?
I would say just to start early, make sure you know like where you want to go to college, because I really didn't know where I wanted to after I applied, and there were a couple schools that I may have wanted to apply to. So just see like where you think you'd fit the best, apply there, and don't let just say you think your grades are a little too low. Don't let that get in your way of applying somewhere if that's where you really want to go. And also feel free to reach out to your teachers and your guidance counselors, because they know a lot and could guide you through this very well.
Okay. Yeah, that's extremely useful information for me personally, because I'm just starting that process and my fellow juniors are as well. So I just want to close this interview with if you guys have some parting words that you want to give to the listeners of this interview.
Well, first off, thanks, Max, for this opportunity. I love being on this Chieftain interview. And then mainly just my greatest advice I'd give is just work hard in school. Always make school your first priority, and then try to get your schoolwork done so you can go out, have fun, enjoy your life.
Okay. And Luanga?
Yeah, so thanks, Semi, for this.
Yeah.
And I don't really know if I have anything else to say. This is great.
All right. Well, I think your words that you said through this interview speak for yourselves, both of you. Thank you for coming on to this call and giving the listeners the opportunity to hear some great advice from you guys, and a little bit of personal stories from you as well. So that's it for this interview. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great day.